Welcome back. Keeping you up to date around the clock. Here's tonight's WIS 7 at 7. Becky Hill, the clerk of court who oversaw the trial of convicted murderer Alec Murdaugh, is being accused of plagiarizing a passage in her book. Co-author of Behind the Doors of Justice, The Murdaugh Murders, Neil Gordon, says that Hill lifted passages in the preface of her book from a draft of a BBC News article. A late-night fire destroyed a popular barbecue restaurant in Santee. Crews were called out to the Lone Star Barbecue and Mercantile on State Park Road last night. The Orangeburg Fire Chief reports the cause of the fire was due to faulty wiring. Funeral arrangements have been made for Jason Murph and his 6-year-old daughter, Michelle. Those details are now being released. The two were found dead earlier last week after being reported missing only days before. Funeral services will be hosted on Saturday at Simmons Funeral Home and Crematory Chapel in Orangeburg. Two Low-Country lawmakers are introducing separate bills that would increase minimum salaries for new teachers across the state. However, the two proposed amounts vary by $18,000. Right now, the average starting salary for South Carolina teachers is just over $38,000. Israeli forces bombarded Palestinian refugee camps in central Gaza today, according to residents, in apparent preparation to expand their ground offensive into a third section of the besieged territory. Despite international pressure for a ceasefire, Israeli officials say the fight isn't close to finished. The ongoing migrant crisis along the U.S. southern border is putting pressure on border officials and resources. In Texas, hundreds of migrants are now being transported to other border towns to help with processing and are then being released into those communities. And a local Christmas miracle. A soldier deployed overseas and left his dog in South Carolina for the holidays. During that time, his dog Titan escaped from the home of a family member watching him. After being missing for 20 days, he was captured on a Ring camera over 10 miles away from home, which led to a relieving reunion. That's all for tonight's 7 at 7. Isn't that great?
Yes. As a kid, I lost my dog
yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
We found her eventually, but it's just like, oh, God.
Yeah, I know. It's unsettling. It's great to see a happy ending.
Wonderful.
All's well that ends well.
And they can travel 10 miles. My goodness.
Indeed. Indeed. All right. Well, we'll be talking your forecast in a little bit.